Okay, today I'm going to be doing mini copycat Big Mac cheeseburgers, and they're basically a Big Mac slider. I did mess with the recipe a little bit, like always. Sorry, but instead of putting fresh onion in it, we're just gonna put dried. The recipe already calls for dried, but I'm gonna put some inside the burger as well. But I'm gonna post the original recipe below for y'all to change how you would like. And I did put in extra hamburger meat. It only calls for 2 pounds, and this is more like 4. So let's get started. So I'm gonna put a couple of handfuls of the minced dried onion in it. Let's just do 4. So it's about 4 tablespoons or so. Kind of mix that in there together. My family really likes this recipe, so it's quickly becoming a favorite. I may have to put a little bit more onion in it. Just a little bit more. Okay. And calls for some garlic powder. And it says 2 teaspoons or to taste, and we've put in extra meat, so try to allow for that. Put some pepper in it. And some salt. Okay. Now, so it's basically sort of like meatloaf without the ketchup or tomato sauce part. I did 4 eggs. I think the recipe called for 2. And mix all that together. Okay, so got everything combined. Had to get in there with my hands, just like meatloaf. So what you need to do is transfer the meat. Let me move this out of the way. To a cookie sheet, or just some flat pan that you have. And sorry, that was my oven. The recipe says for you to kind of mush it flat. Basically what you're going to do is make one huge hamburger patty, but kind of make it square or rectangle shape. So that way, when it's done, you just kind of cut it. You'll be able to easily cut it with your spatula, with a spatula or knife, whatever, whatever. And put it on the buns that you're going to use, which are going to be dinner rolls. So let's get this done. Kind of mush it together. After it's cooked, and I'll show you, it's going to be kind of messy looking, but my family really loves them. And we've tried a lot of slider recipes, so this one's quickly becoming a favorite for them. And keep in mind, you need to try to get this as flat as possible, because I typically do not have to flip it or anything like that while it's in the oven, because you're going to put it in the oven to finish cooking, or to even start cooking. Okay, there you go. It's ready for the oven. So we're going to put it in for 350 and just cook it until it's done. Shouldn't take long. I think the recipe called for like 12 minutes, but everybody's oven's different, so I'll see you back here when we're finished. Okay, so the hamburgers came out of the oven, and I've already cut them. Basically fit. They don't have to be perfect. Basically to fit on your dinner roll. So you take each of your little burgers and you put them on the split part of the dinner roll. Like I said, they're not perfect, and it's okay if they're not. What I do is any pieces that are loose, I just put them back over in the pan and continue on with making the sliders. And these are going to be just made to how I've been doing it for my family. You can fix this however you want to, because I know me, I am always changing recipes. I'll usually make it right with the recipe the first time, and then after that I change it to fit my family. Okay, so let me move this out of the way so that you can see. Alright, so what I do after this is get me some sliced cheese. I'm sure you can use any kind of cheese. The slice is a lot easier. And I just split it in half. Sliced cheese, nothing special about it. I think in the recipe, the lady that come up with the recipe, she puts butter over the top. I don't really remember ever putting butter over the top of it. She also puts sesame seeds on there, and my family doesn't really care for that. So I can't do that. So I usually just leave those off. Now, this is our favorite Thousand Island dressing. It's really good. I even like it, and I don't even like Thousand Island dressing. So what I typically do is I put the cheese on, then I put this dressing on, and then I found just some dill relish. You don't have to use dill relish. You can just do dill chips. But the thing with the dill chips is that it's just one big bite of pickle in the middle. So I kind of want to spread it out. So what I do with the dressing, I just put a little bit of dressing. If it runs off the burger, don't worry about it. It's probably going to anyway. But you need about a teaspoon per burger to make it just like a Big Mac. This. Now, at this time, if you want to, first I go through to this, spread it out because I'm going to be putting something on top of it. So let's make sure cheese stays put. Spread this out. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want it to stay in one spot anyway. You're going to get a bite of it all the way through each time I got into it. Okay, now you can also just put my dill relish on. You can also this time put extra onion, and usually what we do is use the minced dried on the tops. Now I'm not going to do that this time because I already put something inside of it, but you can put it on the inside and on the burger itself. Right now I'm just going through. It's not even a full teaspoon of pickle, but of the dill pickle relish, but you can put on as much as you like. If you want tons of it, put tons of it. If you don't even want it on there, don't put it on there. You can probably also do sweet relish. I guess some people would probably like it better that way, but it was a easy way of getting a bite in every bite of dill pickle flavor. So that's why I use that. Okay. Now my oven is already on still. And probably the best thing to do is put just a little bit of butter on top so that these buns don't dry out. But it gets it a little crunchy and a little wet. And my family likes it. So I just go with it. That's less than I have to do. So all you have to do now, put it back in the oven and let it melt the cheese just a little bit. Just enough to melt it, and then take it right back out. And then you'll be ready to eat. Okay, here you go. Here's the finished product. See, all melted. You see my bun's kind of dried out just a little bit on top, but I mean, it's not going to last long. I'm just going to